I said, hey yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Mohados, and we're back with another video. Well, hope you guys are doing well, because today we are talking everything Propy. That's right, everything you need to know about Propy. That's, what is Propy? Some background, collaboration, some funding, tokenomics, fractional ownership, learn and earn course, and some TA. And then, of course, my thoughts on Propy. Of course, if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Mohados. Everything I do on this channel is basically just around research and some market insights and updates. And of course, if you guys want to follow along on this article, feel free to go into the link in the description and click mohados.com. Go ahead and click the research tab, and of course follow along here. And as you guys can see, I do pretty much weekly articles here, so I'm full-time into this space. And if you guys want to follow along, feel free to enter your email, guys, so that you can get this stuff directly into your inbox if you're interested in, like different protocols, or want to learn about what's happening in the space, whether it's news, research, some interesting insights. So, feel free, if you like this stuff, or if you like this video, definitely drop your email in here so that, you can get things like this. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So Propy, the first time, guys, I heard about Propy was through a friend, and of course, like everything else in life, I have to do my own research and come to the conclusion about what the hell Propy even is in the first place. And also, my bad, I should have said that you're gonna have to go past a couple pages here to get to the Propy article, so you probably have to go 2 times, and then you'll find it on the left hand side. And this article is pretty old, guys, but the reason why I'm doing it now is because I think the time to potentially buy is coming around the corner. So again, we're going to touch base on that. So yeah, so I heard about Propy because of a friend, and I did my own research, because like anything else, I like to learn about it myself and then take action if I do like what I'm seeing. So again, this is just a video of my thoughts. Nothing is financial advice, but guys, Propy is definitely doing a lot of things, right? And whether you love them or hate them, they're doing it differently. They're the only, company that exists that's doing real estate, via NFTs. And we're going to be talking about all of that. There was also a sale in Florida, I believe, for $650K via NFT. And of course, Propy has pretty much done 4 billion in transactions. This is from their website. You can buy and sell using crypto, or pretty much receive crypto if you wish. And lastly, you can digitize your house, right? So this can, of course, eliminate the middleman. It makes it easier to audit and account for these types of things through an NFT, and it also makes it more transparent. So we're gonna be talking about that. But again, I'm just gonna start reading some stuff that I found throughout all of this, of course. So basically, Propy's proprietary technology is changing how people approach real estate properties in the form of NFTs. And if you guys don't know what NFTs are, guys, the simple answer to that is digital ownership. So in some ways, you can prove that you own a property, an asset, anything that can be tokenized, essentially. So it's very, very interesting. And there are, of course, like everything else, pros and cons to that. But overall, I think that digitizing real estate is very, very cool. But moving on here, each time a transaction is made, there is a record that is taking place on an immutable blockchain. Providing transparency and access at any time, Propy has already been gaining a lot of traction in the USA and has been continuing to gain more awareness, with Natalia, who's the founder, leading the charge. And of course, in this article, we're going to be talking about how Pro the token fits into all of this. But of course, jumping into the first part of the article, which is under general information. What is Propy? So Propy is an entity that digitized real estate ownership in the form of NFTs. Digitizing one's real estate with Propy allows owners and sellers to have multiple advantages. So again, Propy utilizes the technology, which is smart contracts through the blockchain, to automate the entire sales process, which is very, very cool. And that can, again, minimize paperwork and, of course, deed transferring. It can all be done through the blockchain. So if that doesn't make sense to you, and maybe some of us are not as technical to understand that, just understand that this is making things more simpler, right? Because, every so often technology does get revamped, right? And in a lot of ways, you can just think about the .com era, right? A lot of processes were changed with automation, right? Automation didn't always exist. There used to be factory workers, and then machines made things more easier. And basically, the simplest way to tie that with this example I just mentioned is that using smart contracts, it makes the process of the paperwork and the detransferring essentially automated on the back end when somebody's buying or selling. And of course, Propy is the middleman helping buyers and sellers basically get connected. And in some ways, yeah, they are acting as a middleman, but they're also kind of making it a simpler and more efficient process. So it's definitely interesting. So again, in many ways, this makes buying or selling properties hassle-free and sometimes cheaper. You may not need to hire professionals since, again, some of the work is automated, eliminating the middleman. Propy is determined to simplify real estate transactions. So some background. Propy Inc. is based out of Sao Paulo and founded by Natalia in 2017. Natalia is an award-winning real estate developer who uses automation to solve problems. She has an extensive background in domestic and international real estate, totaling 15 years of experience. She also understands crypto economics, and she also graduated with a software engineering degree. So basically, she has the qualifications to make such a project, right? So again, she understands real estate, she understands crypto, and she was like, hey, wait a minute, maybe we can digitize everything and make things more simpler. So, again, I think that she has the credentials to tackle on such thing as real estate on the blockchain. Moving on to some funding and collaboration. Propy has raised money through venture and ICO with Tim Draper, Secondary Century Ventures, Reach, Arrington XRP Capital, Blocktree Capital, and Columbus Capital, raising a total of $16.7 million according to Crunchbase. And then some collaboration that we saw was Helio worked with Propy to create the first crypto loan utilizing NFT real estate as collateral. So that's pretty cool, guys. Right now people do get loans using their property as collateral, and you can also use your real estate property as collateral, right? Why can't you if it lives as an NFT on the blockchain? Why can't you? Basically, it's the same thing, guys, as using collateral the normal way, but this brings the digital side to the people who want to potentially buy more properties as collateral. So again, that's a long explanation of just saying you can have a new way of digitizing or using NFTs as collateral. But this stuff is going to happen, right? So there will be companies that take the old solutions and bring them to the newer side, right? Which is what Propy is doing, and how Helio is helping them bring that solution. Again, you can read that twice because I was shocked when I read it. Taking a loan against your NFT real estate asset is a phenomenal use case as it eliminates the middleman. Today, if you tried to borrow against property, you would need to connect with a few different professionals, which would create a long, drawn-out process. So again, simplifying a lot of different aspects. Abra has also partnered with Propy to expand their crypto-backed lending options for home buying. So again, nothing has really changed. These brokers are just coming to the blockchain, acting as the middleman. So again, many different ways for all this stuff to play out, and I pretty much wrote there is no limit for what comes next. Just think about every single solution, whether that's a broker, whether that's a real estate agent. All these people will be basically become digitized, right? And just move over to a option that becomes more simpler. And so I think it's very, very interesting. And of course, if you guys want to click these articles here, they're kind of in blue, so you can click it and it will take you to the page where I pulled it from. And moving on to Tokenomics. So I know we might get some crowd here that might not understand some of the terminology because Propy is very, very, different than, people who understand Web3 or understand like the terminology, like what is an NFT or like, what maybe is a gas fee or maybe a smart contract even. So feel free to comment. I'll try to help those people who don't know what that is maybe, but yeah. So Tokenomics basically, guys, is, it just basically means like token economics. And that means, how the token pretty much vests, the supply schedule, the initial supply. So we're going to try to cover the best we can in this video here because I don't want to make this, a token economic video specifically, because I could sit here for 20 minutes and really just try to go over all of that, but I try to make this as simple as possible so you guys can get the most of it. So again, Propy is an ERC20 token that lives on the Ethereum network. Currently, the total supply is 100 million with a circulating supply of 57.896, 591. So about 57% of the supply is out at the time of writing it. Today, again, remember, I wrote this article on the so like 6 months ago. And right now, guys, literally, it went from 57% to 82% of the supply existing. So almost 100% of the supply is out there. So that's pretty interesting. And, that could be good and bad, or we're going to touch base on that in a second. But Pro is used as a payment token for the platform fees, such as modifying and creating title deeds. As for the distribution, 60% of the tokens were allocated to token sale investors, 19% were sold after September 2018, 35% were sold to the network growth pool, 15% were locked for a year for donations, and the 15 million will remain in the company wallet. At the time of writing this, 65% of the supply is held by top 5 wallets. So if you're basically, this last part is a red flag because 5% of the people control 65% of supply, which is very bad. As you can imagine, they can control the price and manipulate the price if they wanted to. But again, that was a long time ago that I wrote this. So let's take a look right now, see what that looks like. And right now we see 18 million held. Let's see what wallet this is. And now I'm just digging in to see what address this is, right? Is this like the company address or the company wallet? Maybe I'm missing something here. There's probably, something, right? Property secured. So again, there's definitely something I might be missing here, but correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody watching this video might know more than I do on the specific, addresses that are locked up in smart contracts. But definitely, as we can see right now, it looks like 36% or even 46% is held by top 4 addresses, which again, I don't know what that's for, and I don't know what these smart contracts are for, but just be aware, guys, that somebody is definitely holding a lot of tokens. So if you decide to buy, understand that these 4 addresses or 3 addresses can definitely move the price very, very easily. So again, I'm not saying buy or sell. I'm not telling you what to do, but understand that if you do decide to buy the token, that there is a strong chance that, hey, listen, somebody can move the price, and manipulate it if they wanted to. Again, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying X, Y, or Z, but it's important to understand these things because people like to look past and not take everything into consideration, right? When they buy or sell something. And I like to look at things, even if I believe in a project, I like to look at the downsides as well so I can understand the risks. Anybody who's been in this space for long enough, I've been in this space for 5 years, they must understand both sides of the argument. Don't look at things from one side. Understand the risks as well. But talking about fractional ownerships via NFTs, being that properties will, being that properties over time will become NFTs on blockchains, the possibilities are really endless. And one example of how NFTs will be impactful is fractional ownership. So if you guys don't know what fractional ownership is, fractional ownership will allow shared ownership in NFTs and the possibility to cut up the NFTs in as many options as you would like. So let's say you want to buy a house with a business partner. You can both own 50% of the house in the form of an NFT, and it will live all on the blockchain. So you might say, why is this necessary? It's advantageous because with the use of NFTs, one can see things like when it was sold, 2, how much it was sold for, and 3, who they can contact, and so much more. So those are, again, 3 little things there. And again, I talked about fractional ownership and talking about why it's advantageous that people use these NFTs as, again, an option to buy and sell these properties. So again, there's obviously going to be cons as well that maybe we are not looking at this moment. But overall, I think that the pros do outweigh the cons of fractionalizing or even digitizing your real estate properties. But again, fractional ownership is another really cool thing about NFTs. And it's not even just about real estate, right? If you buy a piece of art, somebody can cut the art up in 20 different pieces and say, hey, listen, I'm going to go ahead and, say you could buy 50% of this piece, and you could buy 25% of it, and you could buy the last 25% of it. You can cut up in as many ways as you want, and you can imagine, again, the example I gave is if 3 people or 2 people buy a house, they can split the NFT essentially and say, here's 50% for you, 50% of you. Maybe the smart contract pays out a monthly fee where the person living in it pays it to that contract, and it all happens automatically, which of course is, again, another cool thing about the blockchain. And of course there are ways to do this today without using the blockchain, but I think over time this stuff will definitely happen because it just makes things easier, and it's more transparent, and again, there's just way more advantages in my personal opinion. And again, if you don't feel like I'm right, maybe you think I'm lying, or maybe you think I'm bullshitting, fucking comment below. Let me know what you guys think so far. Likes and subscribes on this video do help the algorithm. So if you do get value from this, again, feel free to do so. But this is a learn and earn course from Propy. And this is basically another reason why I really do like Propy, guys. So, there's 2 layers to this, of course, right? So Propy is acting as a middleman, but at the same time, they're trying to recruit as many agents to their program, right? And basically, you have to get certified through their course. And after you get certified, you can work with Propy to sell basically any assets to the blockchain. And of course, these real estate people who are coming in from the traditional world need to learn what NFTs are. They need to understand what the blockchain is. They need to understand different terminology, and that's basically what this course does. So that is why it's so important, and that is why it's so cool that Propy has this, even though it does have a nice little price tag for $500. But hey, listen, it's a risk like everything else, right? Do these people decide to go ahead and move forward with it is a question of its own, but Propy is leading that as well, also acting as an educational platform for real estate agents. So one, the company itself is acting as a middleman to buy and sell properties, but they're also an educational platform. So there's 2 layers to this that makes me like Propy a lot, because they're, again, acting as a multi type of purpose agency, if you want to call it that. So again, really, really cool. And they have an incentive real estate agents to the ecosystem. So again, it's a program, and you guys can go learn about it more if you want to. They also have a learn and earn, which basically says if you basically like fill out these surveys or educate, you get pro tokens, which is pretty cool. So they have the course, and then they have the learn and earn ecosystem, which I pretty much talked about here in the first sentence. But again, not only will real estate agents learn, but they will also earn pro tokens for each task they complete on the program. So again, very, very cool. The goal of the program is to onboard more real estate agents into the digital world by buying and selling via NFTs. They also launched a course for $497 that will teach users about crypto real estate accordingly. Being that the crypto world is so new, there are a lot of terminologies that one may not understand, so this makes it easy for them to learn. So again, it's very, very interesting, and I like it because it gives them a multi-purpose. So time to talk about my favorite part, guys, is the technical side of it, right? So I like to learn about the project itself, the protocol, and the underlying technology. And then I like to say, okay, let's wrap this back to the price, because my specialty, guys, is technical analysis. If you guys have been following this channel for long enough, you guys will see some of the stuff that I've shared and some of the snipes that we've hit on this channel. But as you guys can see here, I posted this again a long time ago, June 24th, and at that time the price was what? Damn, I didn't get the picture of the pricing. That's horrible, but above 69 cents, because it didn't fall to 69, maybe like 70 or 80. But basically, I was saying that it had an amazing run, and what we're watching for is how price reacts to the zones that I had drawn. So as you can see here, price came down to the low here, I think 69 cents, and it definitely had a little wick. So you guys can see in this 69 cents region. So I'm just gonna quickly draw something across for sake. Like, man, it's too high. 69. So it dropped like down here. So it did have a little move right here, of course. And where the hell are the drawing tools? So I'm using Coin Paprika because no other chart on TradingView has all this stuff up. So where the fuck is it? Good God, if I don't find the next 30 seconds, then we're just gonna have to not use any tools, which is horrible, right? Arrow, brush. There you go. So right here, it kind of wicks, but then it has a move up right here, and then it stops. But I had in the photo drawn the 30-cent region, and that's kind of where we're headed right now. Like, it's very, very clear that we're headed to the 39-cent region. I'm going to delete this real quick to make this very, very clear. And we're sitting at the 36 cents region, which we did hit. So already, guys, I was saying, hey, watch out for the 69 cents region, and then also watch out for the 30 cents region, because depending on how price approaches it can help you determine and forecast what happens next. So again, we do see price coming down to this region, and maybe we do get a bounce even right now, right? It's possible we get a bounce right now, but ultimately it's going to be interesting to see, because this is very, very like it's definitely bullish 100%, because this type of downtrend, it doesn't lead to this continuous downtrend unless something crazy happens or those whales decide to completely just dump all the tokens. But there's always some type of relief bounce here, always. So we might even see a move like that before we go lower, or we might even stop here and go sideways. So again, things change, and that's the reality of technical analysis. I'm not going to sit here and say I know exactly what's going to happen, but I understand zones of interest. And what I'm saying right now is that, hey, listen, maybe you should wait for price to continue playing out and giving us more hints of whether or not it's bottoming. And of course, you know, it's going to take time. And even I wasn't hesitant to like buy here, right? And right now, I do think if you're interested in the long-term value of, you know, Pro, then maybe you can buy a little bit right now. Again, a little bit. That's completely up to you. But again, I think the best area, like the premium value, is down here, right? Which is again around 30 cents, which is not a guarantee, right? So again, it's not a guarantee that it goes down that low, but that's the area that I would definitely be eyeing. And that doesn't mean we don't get a relief bounce right now before we do go lower. So again, you know, you got to be patient, and you have to look at your own strategy. What is your plan? Are you holding for 5 years, 4 years, 2 years? What is your plan? Ask yourself, put everything in place, and understand what your risk to reward is going to be if you do decide to enter, or, you know, maybe just don't buy it at all. That's another option, right? So again, it's completely up to you, but I'm going to be waiting for this low to get hit, 30 cents. If, you know, we do see some type of strength, that would change my opinion, right? If we can get back above 82 before going down to 39 or 30, maybe I'm going to change my opinion. Maybe I might buy down here, like if it consolidates at 50 cents. Who knows? Things change, data changes, and that is pretty much what technical analysis is, and trying to find the best time to buy is by just waiting, being patient, and seeing how things play out. Because, you know, everything is so data driven at this point, because, you know, as you guys are aware, if something happens that can change the momentum in the market, then we have to adjust, right? We have to adjust with the market, just like how, you know, real estate agents are going to the blockchain right now, right? Because they're adjusting with technology, right? Technical analysis is the same way. You adjust with the price. If things or new data reveals itself with high buying volume, you definitely want to pay attention. So, you know, that's a long answer behind that. And that leads me to the conclusion. Propy is one of a kind. It's the first kind to digitize real estate in the form of NFTs. I mean, who doesn't want to make buying and selling more hassle-free? And again, it eliminates the middleman. And so I shared plenty of examples. Propy has already $4 billion in transactions. And of course, they have job openings on the website, which is also really cool because it shows that the company itself is growing. And the owner or the CEO has a background in real estate, and she understands crypto. So that makes me very, very bullish on Propy. But that does not mean it's correlated to the value of the Pro token. So make that very, very clear. It's not, again, correlated to the value of the token, because as we saw, there is literally three addresses that hold almost 50% of the supply. So I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys about, oh yeah, you're safe or this and that. I like to report the facts. I like to use data and reason, just like I share on the top of my website. So again, you know, make your own decision. But I will be definitely interested in buying a little bit. And of course, none of this is financial advice. And please like and sub if you got any value from this video, because it really does help the algorithm. And as always, haro haro haro. Peace.